colleague of mine who works in Nottingham, a gentleman called Professor Gisley Jenkins, we actually ran a national patient day about 7 or 8 years ago. And we were absolutely overwhelmed when over 150 people, both patients and their relatives, turned up to hear us talk about pulmonary fibrosis. And we asked them what they wanted and what we could do to help them. And from that, developed a charity called Action for Pulmonary Fibrosis, which is now in its sixth year. And there's a very special link here with Papworth, because one of the patients we looked after here in the clinical service for pulmonary fibrosis, called Mike Bray, who then went on to have a lung transplant for his pulmonary fibrosis, also here at Papworth. Him and his wife were very committed and wanting to improve the support for patients with pulmonary fibrosis, and it was their idea to get this charity, Action for Pulmonary Fibrosis, up and running, and the two of them were absolutely integral for the setting up of the charity. I remain a trustee of the charity, and over time, like all of the support groups around the country, we've grown enormously. The charity has three main aims. The primary one is basically to support patients and their families with pulmonary fibrosis. And through that, we've helped set up over 70 patient support groups around the country. The other aims of the charity are to help improve education and raise awareness, and we've done a variety of training programs, particularly for respiratory nurses and ILD specialist nurses who look after patients with pulmonary fibrosis, but also with general practitioners so that they are more aware of the diagnosis or how to make an early diagnosis of pulmonary fibrosis. One of the things that patients always ask us for is what's going to be the cure for pulmonary fibrosis. And the only way we're ever going to find a cure is to do much more research. And so that's the third aim of the charity, is to support research. And through donations that have been given to the charity through our fundraisers, we've just supported 2 fellowships for pulmonary fibrosis doing research. So we've put about £600,000 into these 2 research projects so that we can get a better understanding of pulmonary fibrosis. And hopefully that work will come to fruition over the next few years. So our patient support group here at Papworth have worked with Action for Pulmonary Fibrosis to help set up support groups across the region that are much more local to where people live, so that no matter where you live, you should be able to find a support group within 20 minutes of your home, so it makes it much easier for you to get to one of the meetings and get support